Hello YouTube, Ziggy No here, back with another video, this time looking back at the last 90 days. It's June 30th and this video will be published on July 1st, so I want to take a moment, use market movers to look at data over the top 10 cards that have moved in the last 90 days and the top 5 cards that have declined in the last 90 days. Now, I think I'll probably do this more like a monthly report, but I thought if you think back to what's happened in the last 90 days, it was March 11th. So less than 90 days ago that the NBA suspended play and really started the whole lockdown, the COVID-19, the quarantine, work from home. And if you also think about that, it also blossomed a lot of the YouTube content that you're seeing out right now. I started my channel only 6 weeks ago. Many of the content providers I talk about started their channel probably within the last 90 days as well. So the last 90 days, this has quite an impact on the sports card hobby. We've had the Gary V effect in full effect, right? With Gary V being back. We've had new solutions in the market space, new talk shows, new interviews, Project 2020. I'll even make a comment that in this video, you will see one Project 2020 card in the top 10 and in the bottom 5. There were more of each card, but I only picked one Project 2020 for each category, or else Project 2020 would have had more spots in each slot. Not fully dominating. And I thought it was pretty interesting because, like I said, they are in both the top and the bottom as far as market movers in the last 90 days. So let's get started with, I'm going to go ahead and look at the bottom 5 first. As an optimist, I'd rather go ahead and get the junk out of the way. So let me first of all start with market movers. I use the market movers tool, and what's really cool here is you can do price movement by player or card. You can click on one of those and you can select the time frame by 7 days, 30 days, 90 days. I'm not going to run that for you because some of these reports, since they're 90-day reports, take a long time to load. So I've got them preloaded for us, but I want to give you some background on how those reports are being generated. I also will show you a little more information. So this one is our number 5. Now, I thought this was interesting. A lot of these are going to be interesting to you, I think. Malape, the Prism Cup dude. Now, this is a card that is down 28%. Now, it's still up pretty well. I mean, if you look at the graph here, depending on, and this is over the period of time. So this is tracking the first sale back in May. The dates, though, do go back to March. So there might not have been any other dates or other sales, maybe not enough sales data. I also point out there's 51 total sales in this graph, which I think is important. Market movers also helps kind of filter out some of the erroneous data or less likely to be accurate data. I won't go in detail, but this is pretty accurate information you're looking at. I think it's interesting, gives us a pop report as well of 410 PSA 10s of this card. And again, I just was kind of surprised. You see, it's definitely had its ups and downs, and maybe it's plateaued off here, closing at $480, which is still a pretty good investment, I guess. But unless you were the guy who bought it at $675, you're probably not quite as happy. Number 4 is LeBron James. This was quite a surprise to me. LeBron James basic is Mosaic Jam Master. And again, it kind of makes sense to me. I think when this card first came out, first sales were back in March 23rd. So you kind of had the buzz. And remember rarity. So this, I think if you think of Mosaic, they came out in retail, and then you had hobby, and then you had another flood or wave of retail. So this card spiked as high as 610 at one point, which it just blows my mind. Again, this is just a raw insert, not numbered, nothing special, not a Mosaic, not a Prism. And now it's down to about what? Still a pretty good card at 186, right? For this, oh, it is silver. It is silver. So it is a silver insert. So again, still amazing card. Let's look at some of the stats there. 253 sold over the quarter. There's your percentage change, 33% down, value $93. So I thought it was interesting to see a LeBron on the bottom 5. Next up is, well, again, maybe a surprise, maybe not. This one was kind of a personal surprise because I actually am a fan of this card and this guy Zion. His PSA 10 optic base with a pop count of 749. So I will also point out this quarter is really where we started seeing PSA got a lot of these cards out, and those pop counts are going to go up. So if you watch in future videos, that's something to note. Those pop counts will go up in the future. But you can see how this card was up as high as like $400. It's definitely come down a bit. Had a little drop to 248, and it's holding steady at right around 236. What was that drop? The drop was 149. I'm sorry, on June 8th. That was probably a buy it now. And then we got 236 here. So 171 sales, down 40% on this card for the quarter. Still up as an investment. I'll tell you what I mean by that. I was buying that card at $60 raw, grading it. If it grades a PSA 10, so I'm investing $10 into it, I'm still making money off that card at 236. I'm not making as much as I was at 400, clearly. Number 2 on the bottom 5 is a Giannis. And this goes very similar to the Mosaic hype. This is the Overdrive card. When it debuted in May, it looks like it was up there at $300. This is a raw. I'm trying to look if this says silver. I think all Overdrives are a silver or a prism variation. It has since dropped considerably and now is floating around $70, $79. So that's quite a drop from $300 to a steady $70 card now. So 73% drop, 59 cards sold over that time period. Another surprise to me that see a Giannis card going down. But again, if you look at this market space and you think about it, Mosaic was an interesting product the way it hit the market, right? It came in hot. It still is a very hot product, but I think people jumped on those inserts really quickly because they were retail. And then when the hobby products came out and people started chasing stained glass, this has taken a hit. Now, the number 1 card in a percentage drop for the quarter, and this is again the first COVID quarter, so pretty memorable quarter, is a Project 2020 card. So that should be no surprise to many. In fact, many of you are probably exhaling, go, ooh, it wasn't another card of mine. But I thought this was interesting to point out. This card started up with sales, looked like back in May, and I don't know why there's not further data back here because I did run this back to March, so maybe there's some missing data. But anyway, the point is, it was at a high. And then even before the market dipped, it took a crash. And I say that because the real dip, if you look at Project 2020, was back on the, I think it was the 25th, right around here, right? 25th, 26th is when the next big spike was. And this and many other cards in the hobby, the 25th of May. So it came down, crashed before that, which I thought was pretty interesting. With the 5,000 count, it's a King Saladin card. Don't know why it was so high up there, but its crash was a 97% decline. Now, again, there were several other Project 2020 cards that had massive declines in Q2. Yes, in Q2. We'll also look at some that had some massive upsides as well. So you might throw, the Project 2020 card out there, say it's a piece of art, and you're back to looking at Giannis as your top card with the biggest drop for the quarter. Now, let's proceed to the top 15 in growth. First card up, I thought was kind of interesting to me. Not the player, but the card. This is a Kawhi Leonard 2019 Optic Holo Raw. Okay, and I'll just go ahead and double click here so you can see what we're talking about here. Nothing special about this card. Now, people argue this is his first card with a Clippers uniform on, right? And if they win the championship, this card could actually take off. But anyway, it starts off here around, what, $8 a card, and it ends, I think, or is ending right now around $74 a card. Very interesting. Makes me want to go back and look at my Optic Halos again. Again, you'll see it's up 492%. 492% in the quarter. That is not a rookie. That is not a LeBron. That is up 492%, and that is number 10. Number 9 on the list is Topps Basketball Raw LeBron James 2004. Interesting card here. Again, I'll go ahead and pull a picture up of that card. Second year card, had an increase of over 605%. Started its low around $8, I think it is, $14. And finishing the quarter here at around, sorry about that, $98. And this is a raw card. Second year LeBron James Topps Basketball Raw card. Wow. Anybody else pick up on this stuff? Because there's no one else is hyping this card. I didn't see this one coming. And you can only imagine what it's going for graded, right, if it's grading well. Number 8, Colin Kaepernick. To many, this might not be a surprise, right? It is his Topps Football Base PSA 10, low pop count for this card, 363. Started the quarter down around a $30 card. He hit a point of around 423 on June 10th. maybe the height of the unrest. And let me take that back because it's been up even since then. 421 on the 22nd, 410 on the 23rd, and currently trading at 249 for Colin Kaepernick. Now, I've actually seen a lot of this card in Raw. I'm going to bet that pop count is going to go up because people are going to be submitting this guy in for grading with returns like that, right? Number 6. Don't even know who this guy is. Never even heard of him. I'm sure many of you baseball guys, or I'm sorry, soccer people are like, of course you know who this guy is. A new guy to me. And I'm kind of curious what made this happen, right? But again, $299 back in March 2nd. It's had a steady increase, right? Over the peaks and valleys. Remember I mentioned the 22nd peaks, or the May 25th, 26th peaks. There he is there. And right now that card is around $35. So that is up 1,000%. Donruss Soccer Optic Raw. 115 sold too. So it's not like it's an anomaly. There's a market for this guy. I really like that about market movers, right? Showing you market, it's helping protect you against market manipulation. It's showing you a lot of good data sets. And again, if you're curious, on the left is all the querying I had to do to pull up this guy. Anyway, Cristiano Ronaldo, World Cup Soccer. Now, this is an interesting card, 2014. I think this is the first Prism Cup, a Prism card for Ronaldo. But again, started around $9. This is like a cheap card. Now it is around $55, $58. Had spiked at one point around 60 something in that May weekend, that Memorial Day weekend. 195 of these cards sold, over 1,100% increase. Amazing. Right? Soccer there on the top. Excuse me. Coming in at number 5, Lamar Jackson. Again, another surprising card to me. Not that it's Lamar, but because of the variation of this card. And this again supports, the move in the refractors and the second-year cards, and the fact that it's not all about the vet guys. People are chasing stars. So you have here Lamar Jackson. Again, I'll pull the picture up here. This is select. This is field level raw. So this card low was around $4.20. It has been up to 45, 30s, 49, and recently $65 for a silver, what's that, second, third year card, but over 1,400% growth. Lowest sale they have tracking at one point was $1.25, probably historically. But amazing. I hope this is, cool information for you guys. Next card, Cam Newton. Now, this one's a cool graph because, again, if you look at this, Cam really was kind of quiet. And, well, what happened? He got picked up by the Patriots, spike at $26 for a raw card. So that is what's driven up Cam's price. Again, he was down as low as $2 a card. Now trading at 26, 1,200% increase in value. And this is just for raw cards. So you might pick this on CMOC or one of the other sites, but amazing. And again, this is a great example of the hype and what happens when a trade takes place, activity in the market. Number 3, Rickey Henderson, Project 2020. I told you Project 2020 would be there. Here they are right now. So again, interesting card here. This is one of the early cards, low print run. Started the year kind of quiet, stayed around $20-something. I want to fast forward here to that. The hype for Project 2020 was really in May. That Memorial Day weekend, it hit a high on the 26th of $1,200 for this card. Right? Came down. Has held some ground though right here. Cemented itself around $200. Had a few spikes. And is now floating around $430. Now, I'll say this is true about many of what's referred to as the first player cards in Project 2020. Low print run cards are definitely holding their value. The ERMSI, I think, is around 700. There's a couple other great ones that are out there. So, people, if you're still following Project 2020, there's still value out there. I'll say that. I won't get into a whole debate about the current cards. I'm still a fan of it. Follow my channel, my thoughts on Project 2020. But I thought it was interesting to point out they did break the top 3. by going up 1,400% for the quarter. That's still up, right? It's still up. And he was up a lot more at one point, man. Okay. Number 2, Lionel Messi. Now, this is a shocking one as well. I will tell you guys, there's a great video on baseball card collector, baseball card collector, investor, dealers page. He does a video just on this one card, I think, or maybe it's in part of a video, but he talks about how this card was $1 card, and then it just continued to spike and spike and spike. But you can see here its continued rise, right? Hit $60 at one time. It hits 52 right here. It hit, what's that, 60? Then it hits 70 at one point. This card continues to bounce. Again, why it's bouncing, no one knows. This card was $1 for a long time. And currently it's at $57. This is a raw soccer card of Lionel Messi. 178 of these have sold, right? This is the number 2 card for the quarter on percentage change in value. Number 2. Now, drum roll. Terrible drum roll. Do I have any guesses for the number 1 card in greatest percentage change of value? Well, of course, you're going to guess after you've seen it. So, bam, Kevin Durant. Now, here's what surprises me, guys. This is not the rookie card that was hyped. I won't say hyped. That was posted by Gary V. This is the 2019 Optic Holo Raw. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so way back in the first day of the quarter, this card sold for 99 cents. Someone posted it, it sold for 99 cents. Probably just got no bids, right? 99 cents. It then started growing and growing and growing. And I don't know why, right? This is not Gary V. Gary V didn't bring this up. I think June 20th is when Gary V mentions he likes KD. But look at this card. Just continue to track in value. Here is the actual, let me see, where's the 20th? There's the 22nd. It's at $36. It is one of the most surprising cards for me that I found by using market movers. Percentage of change, 3,334%. Total volume sold, 130 of these guys, man. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. So, definitely was not something I thought would be a top card. I hope this kind of was, you know, an interesting list for you guys. It definitely wasn't what I suspected. It kind of also gives you a sense of, you know, data is a fickle, you know, it's fickle. It is what you make of it. When you just look, these are just pure numbers, man, pulled out of eBay based on sales. This day, Market Movers does let me exclude low confidence bids or low confidence buyers and sellers. I can also exclude PWC, as you can, let me see over here. So actually I didn't exclude, but you can see you can exclude Probostine and PWC. So this is actually pulling all more raw data in. But my point is I think it's a really good view of what is going on in the sports card market. The rise of refractors, the fact that vets are still very popular, that cards are both winning and losing in the market space. I think this next quarter is going to be really exciting because we're going to see sports come back, hopefully, cross our fingers. And with sports coming back, as somebody mentioned before, you know, a lot of what's been going on is hype has been on the anticipation of what potentially will happen. Well, now that potential is going to be turned into performance, and people are going to perform and some aren't going to perform. And those who don't are going to see cards go down, and those who do, I think we'll see cards go up. So I know this is much longer than normal. I hope this was a good video for you. Happy July 1st. Welcome to the start of a new quarter. Remember, we're halfway through the 2020 year. I hope that's a good thing. I know it's been a challenging year. I really think the future's bright. Hang in there. Please subscribe. I'd love your comments and feedback. Please share with others. Looking forward to, you know, a long time putting out content and enjoying everybody's feedback. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Stay safe. Stay healthy.